Hey guys, so interesting fact about myself, during the entirety of the time that I've been a content creator on the internet, none of my videos has ever gotten more, never gotten over 100,000 views. Ever. Until last week. Holy shit, what a response that video get. And just to be clear, I didn't post that video to get any kind of special attention. I did it for my fans. I don't have a lot of fans. I don't have as many fans as other content creators on YouTube or Channel Awesome for that matter, but I do have them and they are very passionate about what I do, and I thought it was important to inform them. As well as venting a lot of the frustration that I was feeling at the time. And that was it. That was the whole purpose of that. But that video has gotten such an incredible reaction that it has led to more people subscribing to my YouTube channel, my Twitter page, my Facebook page, my Patreon page, and all of these content creators, former producers from Channel Awesome that I had no contact with, be it because they were unaware of me or they just, at the time, chose not to reach out to me, to finally make contact with me. And it's amazing. I joined Channel Awesome to get more viewers, perform for more people, expand my horizons, get more resources, and collaborate and meet other major internet video producers. And strangely enough, ironically, that didn't happen until I left the website. Yeah, it's insane. Anyway, so yeah, it's a victory that I finally got over 100,000 views in a video, but it's bittersweet, because while I am so happy that the video got the response that it got, on the other hand, it has also inspired a lot of negativity. A lot of people are depressed, a lot of people feel bad for me. There's still a debate going on because there's still people that support Channel Awesome, which is okay, that is your opinion. And my video gave those people that do not support Channel Awesome a lot of ammunition during those arguments that they keep having on Facebook and Twitter and other social media. So, in lieu of all this negativity, suddenly I came across a video that reminded me of what our purpose is as content creators, as internet producers, as former Channel Awesome producers. Our purpose, in my opinion, has always been to take the negative and spin it into a positive. We take a bad movie, a bad cartoon, a bad video game, a bad comic, and we make fun of it and make you guys laugh about it and help you guys get over the badness of those things. You know, the bad experience that you had with those things. And for a minute there, amidst all the melancholy, I forgot that that's what we always did. That's what our purpose is. That's what we provided for you guys, an escape, a respite from the badness. But one producer did not forget that, and that is the brilliant and lovely and talented Marzgurl, who posted this hilarious parody of one of the songs from Hamilton, detailing the whole situation. See, that's what we do. That's what we do. We spin the negative into a positive, and I love it, and I told her so, that was excellent. So in this video, I plan to follow her example. A few fans have already done so. More specifically, super fans Jeff and Melissa also did parody songs about the whole situation. Very funny, very clever, very talented. I will include the links to the Marzgurl Song and those 2 songs in the description box if you guys want to check it out. And if you want to just skip this video and go check that out, I won't be insulted because it is really good. I highly recommend it. So to follow Marzgurl's example, I want to put out something positive out there. Spin this into a positive. However, I don't have the time, nor do I possess her amazing talent. And so I can't do anything close to being as cool as what she did or what Jeff and Melissa did. So what I'm going to do is I am going to read this letter, this blog post from somebody who has supported me throughout the years. But before I get to that, I want to dedicate a portion of this video to thanking a lot of people, okay? Starting with all of you. If you're new, thank you for subscribing. Welcome to the party, pal. If you've been with me from the beginning, if you've been with me throughout all these 8 years that I've been the Blockbuster Buster, the 2 years that I was on my own, and the 6 years that I was with Channel Awesome, if you've been with me through the good and the bad, thank you, okay? But more importantly, there are people that I need to thank because one huge major misconception that came from my I Quit video was that Linkara was the only producer to ever speak to me from the site. That's not the case, okay? Just to be very clear, I cherish and love my friendship with Lewis throughout the years. It's wonderful, and I'll never be able to thank him enough for reaching out to me and helping me out all those years. But the difference between him and the other Channel Awesome producers was that he was the one giving me information, that he was the only one considerate enough and forward-thinking enough to realize, maybe ERod doesn't know these things. Let me check. ERod, do you know that this is happening? Oh, I didn't know. Thank you for letting me know. That's why I highlighted him, and that's why I kept mentioning him in the previous video. And left out all these other people that were also kind to me. But I did not mean to imply that he was the only person from that site to talk to me or who was nice to me, alright? So I would like to take a moment to thank every single producer that reached out to me and spoke to me before this whole debacle went down. Every great now and then, when I would go on Skype to try and reach out, generally these would be the people that would answer back. And again, just to kid around, just to be funny, just to exchange opinions on things, that sort of thing. It was never professional. It was always super friendly. With Linkara, it was both. Anyway, so these are the people that were always super cool with me. Nash, we would discuss Doctor Who every great now and then. He was one of the first people to accept my contact request on Skype. Bennett the Sage, who was having a shit day when he first spoke to me, but he modified his mood to be friendly to me. That is not easy to do. When you're having a shit day and suddenly you run into somebody and you have to be friendly, you have to be nice, it is not easy to change your mood, but he did it, and I appreciate that. One of the nicest guys on the face of the earth, Sci-Fi Guy, who was the first person from the site to ask for a cameo from me, awesome guy. Welshie, who you guys were under the impression hated me, but didn't. He would pick on the Blockbuster Buster in his videos, but he would always ask for permission. Well, Welshie is a dick in front of the camera. He is a gentleman in real life. One of the best people I know. Film Brain, wise beyond his years. One of the coolest, funniest conversations I ever had about Pirates of the Caribbean was with him, where he was pointing out how the movie was marketed towards children, but it opens with a mass hanging that concludes with a child being hung at the gallows. And I agree, he was 100% correct, and we went on and on about that for a long, long time. And of course, mi ídolo, Angry Joe, who, one of the first videos that I ever produced for Channel Awesome was one where I did really crappy, terrible impersonations of all the people from Channel Awesome, and I was told that before I did this, I needed to ask every person that I was going to make fun of, if that was okay. No problem. I made sure to ask everybody, and the first person to respond was, of course, Angry Joe. And not only did he give me permission, but he encouraged it, and he gave me tips of how to impersonate him and make fun of him the best. He was also the first person to give me feedback, first producer to give me feedback on a video. After that video came out, he said, I saw it, I loved it, thought it was hilarious. He also did a cameo appearance in my Top 10 Hispanic Heroes episode. Check that out. That video was very popular. And he was going to do another cameo for me in an April Fool's video that I did, where I reviewed a video game instead, but unfortunately he was too busy and he was very apologetic, and he gave me permission to have one of my characters, Cartoony, impersonate him. And after that video came out, he once again messaged me and let me know, man, I saw the video, I saw the parody that you did of me, and I loved it, thank you so much for including me. So yeah, those were the people that, like I said, every great now and then when I would go on Skype, asking for help, looking for other souls out there in the channel awesome ether. Good Lord, I need to learn to speak. These were generally the folks that would respond, and Linkara as well. But Linkara would always go, hey, how you doing? What do you think of, the Green Lantern movie? Oh, by the way, this is happening at Channel Awesome. That was the difference. Anyway, so I don't hold any grudges against anybody else for not sharing information. Again, it was not their job, and it wasn't Linkara's job. And before I get to the main point of this video, and this will work as a transition into that, I would like to thank non-Channel Awesome producers who were insanely supportive and helpful throughout the years, namely Jerry Nava, aka Film Renegado, mi hermano hispano. Renegado, one of the absolute best content creators on the internet. Super proud that we're both Hispanic. Always a big fan of his stuff. He guest starred in my Top 10 Hispanic videos at the same time. I wish we could have done more together, but we could never come up with a good idea. We could never figure out a way to be in the same location at the same time. But I'm still open to that, Jerry, if you still want to do it. And the other person, which is really important, this guy reached out to me before anyone, when I was nobody, when I only had 10 fans, alright? And that is one of the most talented guys on YouTube, somebody that is hugely respected in the horror community, John Sheehan, aka Ormsby the Mad Scientician. I deeply respect this guy, deeply admire him. When I went to start doing my series of horror movie reviews for Halloween, a must was to include cameos from Ormsby, and I reached out to him, and every year he would say yes. No matter what was happening in his life, no matter how busy he was, he would say yes. And every year the cameos would get longer and more elaborate, and every year he would say yes. I hate it that we didn't do anything together this past year, but we're going to change that this year. John, if you're watching, expect an email from me, because we're putting Ormsby in this year's Halloween Havoc. It will happen. So this leads me to the main subject of this video. Somebody who now officially that has classified as a non-Channel Awesome producer for some time, but used to be. Somebody who made a huge difference in my life. So when I first started producing videos on YouTube with the aspiration of getting on Channel Awesome, I was really eager, and I had so many ideas, and I was so desperate to connect with another producer from the internet to collaborate with, because not because I wanted notoriety or fame or some kind of a segue into Channel Awesome, but because I wanted to learn from them. I wanted the opportunity to get better. And my dad always says the same thing. If you want to be the best, seek out the best and learn from them. And that's what I was trying to do. I would send out emails, to the Nostalgia Critic and Spoonie and Linkara and Obscurus Lupa and everybody that I could think of. And out of all those people, this was the one person who responded. And this was extra special for me because this individual has always been my favorite content creator on the internet, and that was Z Briggs, aka Little Miss Gamer. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with her, or for those of you who are familiar with her and just want to know why she has always been my favorite, it is simply this. 90% of all these, angry reviews that we do are just that. They are angry. They are us angry about a movie, a cartoon, a comic that we have beef with. And we want to air our grievances. Even if we don't mean it, even if we're just being over the top and silly, all these videos are very angry. All of Little Miss Gamer's videos were the opposite. They were always happy, and they would focus on the joy and the happiness and the excitement that the video games that she would play, that she would review in her videos, gave her as a child. The joy that those video games gave her, that initial joy, and she would magically capture that in those videos. And I would watch her Little Miss Gamer episodes, and I would remember, oh, that's right, when I was a kid, I loved that Atari game, even though it was simple, even though the graphics were crap. I loved it, and she had a knack for capturing why these things were good and why these old nostalgic things were still relevant and worth your time. And I admire that. To me, that was a talent that not a lot of people had, and one that I've always strided towards every time I did a tribute video or an honest review. So for a while, we shared a correspondence, and I would send her links to my videos, and every now and then she would send me an email with just brilliant words of advice that I always appreciated. And her words, her encouragement, and her mentorship got me through some really hard times in my life. And then finally, in 2011, when I first joined Channel Awesome, that guy with the glasses at the time, she was kind enough to write a blog post about me, and it blew my mind that happened. And I remember I was at my day job at the time, and I ran to my boss's office, and I asked him if it was okay for me to print it out. And he was like, what is it that you want to print out? And I explained it to him, and my boss, one of the coolest guys in the world, Josh Broad, who you guys know as Darth Lucas on my videos. Yes, my boss was that fucking nice. He guest starred as a villain in a few of my videos. Anyway, so he had been following all my progress of me trying to get on this website. He knew about it. We talked about it all the time. So when he heard that A, I was in Channel Awesome, and B, my favorite internet personality wrote about me, not only did he print it out immediately, but he proceeded to read this in front of all my coworkers. And I was so embarrassed, but I didn't want to be an asshole and try to stop him, because all Josh was doing was being supportive. So, you know what? Embarrassment be damned. My hero wrote about me. Okay? Not a lot of people can say that. I can't say that all of my experience with Channel Awesome was positive, but it did have its moments. Like I said in my previous video, when the going was good, it was great. And this was one of those great moments. And now I'm going to share what she wrote with you. If you want, for whatever reason, you don't believe me that this happened, I don't know why you wouldn't, but if you don't, I'm going to put the link in the description box below to her blog, to her blogs. All you have to do is scroll down. It's the third one. The first one is about announcing her Facebook page. The second one is about Psychonauts, and I'm the third. The Blockbuster Buster reviews Astro Boy on thatguywiththeglasses.com. That's what it's called. I'm going to do a little editing here because the middle paragraph is all about her love and her fandom of Astro Boy, and why it was so meaningful that was my first review on Channel Awesome, because it was on a subject that she really loved. So this also gives you a further incentive to go to her site and read the full thing, because that paragraph is really good. If you're not a fan of Astro Boy, if you're not familiar with that franchise, it'll encourage, trust me, it'll encourage you to at least give it a look. Anyway, so my hero, one of the greatest living humans on the face of the earth, Little Miss Gamer, Z Briggs, wrote the following. A couple of years ago, let me start over again, but this time I'm going to do it right. A couple of years ago, I started getting emails from ERod, also known as the Blockbuster Buster. Every week or two, I would get an update, letting me know a new review of his had been released. I watched a couple of his reviews and I encouraged him. I thought that he had a nice flair in his presentation and his character was fun to watch. Recently, I was so happy to learn that he had been brought on to thatguywiththeglasses.com. That Guy with the Glasses is a website dedicated to online video reviews of all kinds. And the Blockbuster Buster is a great addition to their lineup. His first review was of the recent feature-length movie Astro Boy. When I watched ERod's first review as the Blockbuster Buster on thatguywiththeglasses.com, I was so happy that he chose Astro Boy. I agree. The film just does not do justice to this amazing series. Eric takes his time in the review, sharing some history about the series, and going in depth into the plot points of the film, its successes and its failures. I'm so happy to see the Blockbuster Buster getting picked up by this larger site. When I was creating videos regularly, I would get quite a few emails from folks asking how to get started. The best advice for anyone wanting to do anything is keep going, be consistent, and let people know that this is what you want to do. Congratulations, ERod. And then I shed a little tear, but I hit it. So I cannot emphasize enough that there were good moments, guys. There were good moments. And please don't forget that. I'm not telling you not to voice your opinion. I'm not telling you not to be moved by my I Quit video. I'm just telling you that we all, as producers and as viewers, we had great times with Channel Awesome. And let's not forget them, no matter what ends up happening. And once again, special thanks to all my fellow Channel Awesome producers, all the internet content creators who have supported me through the years, and to the person that I admire the most, to Z Briggs, for constantly taking time out of her day, out of her work, out of her time with her family, to just shoot me an email and encourage me to keep going. I have kept all those emails throughout the years. They're all in the same purple folder to remind myself that what I did was appreciated. It might not have been as popular as other people. It might not have gotten the views that other people got, but it was appreciated. And it was appreciated by amazing fans like you and by people that I hold in the highest of regards. And at the end of the day, that ain't bad.